All right, welcome everyone. This is the Milan Club SoCal Weekly Podcast. It's Tuesday, the 10th, in the middle of the international break. Joined here by Alessandro, Anthony, and Gio. Um, we got the crazy General game to recap, as well as I know I almost forgot that this even happened, but our Champions League against Dortmund. Got to review that. But let's get started with Genoa. Crazy crazy game. Um, where do you even start? Lots of changes to the lineup. Um, I don't think a lot of them were terrible. Like I thought the squad was okay, but we just couldn't get the goal, couldn't get things really going. I think at the halftime they put on Leao and Pulisic. Um, and I think Musa, I think in the 86th minute, crosses the ball into Pulisic. Questionable handball. Um, I don't think it was. But we'll get into everybody's opinion soon. Um, Pulisic turns, scores. We're in La La Land, 87th, 88th minute. And then I think in like the 90th somethingth minute, Giroud has to come out of his box because they had a good counter move, passing the ball over our players and exploiting us on the pace. Magnan comes up and knees a guy near the throat to go up for a ball. VAR review takes forever. He gets sent off. We have no subs left. Giroud gets put in goal. I thought it was gonna be Cha because he's like the tallest guy, but Giroud is also like probably equally as tall as Cha, but it's probably made more sense that it was Giroud. And then Giroud, with probably like if Genoa had this chance, they probably would have scored into an open net. Giroud just dives in, just like punches the ball away. It bounces on the ground. It does hit Calabri's arm, which I don't know what the rule is on that instance if it's not a handball or whatnot. But anyway, smacks the ball. It goes up in the air. Everybody's clamoring for it, and he just somehow grabs it, and we just barely hold on for the victory. Their keeper gets sent off too at some point, and then at another point later, we were through goal with Leao, and the referees blew the whistle for no reason to send off the other keeper. Um, Bizarre refereeing decisions, terrible refereeing, pretty much the whole match. But we won, and Giroud is the best goalkeeper according to multiple sources. We have to agree. What'd you guys think of the game?
Um, yeah, I mean, you pretty much summed it all up there. I mean, it was the first half. Um, I thought Chuk did better the first half. I saw that he made an amazing delivery to Okafor,
Yeah, you did.
which Okafor should have put away. I thought Okafor was a bit disappointing this game. I feel like this was his time to just that, especially that opportunity. Um, I thought Chiao was pretty aggressive, but he was still, I just every time he goes for the ball or goes for the tackle, I just fear that he's gonna just get a bunch of yellow cards, just because he's always late with his tackles. But still, I mean, it's aggressive, nice to see. Um, Deo was like non-existent, except for maybe had like a volley shot that would have been amazing. That was just like it was so powerful, but he was just non-existent pretty much. Adley, first half was good. Second half, pretty terrible. I didn't think that. Well, not. I don't know about terrible. It's a pretty ugly word, but didn't really develop anything, and I think that's what caused a lot of the game to be stagnant a bit. But yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of it? Go ahead, guys.
Can you guys,
Don't be shy, please.
can you guys hear me at all or no?
It's a
Oh, it's very
little.
garbled.
Yeah. All right. So Gio, that's you then.
What I thought of the game, man, I think To me, I mean, I think Dale. I mean, I've been wherever you see me, whether it's on another podcast, Twitter Spaces, which is now X. I've been saying that he's had a shit season, and it's because these dumb yellow cards. Eight
Hmm.
games, and you're already suspended. Like that's the problem. I put like I've been telling everybody, I put Theo on such a pedestal. Like, can you name me another left back in the world that does what he does or has that thing? But now he's just like I don't know what it is. He's just doing bonehead things, and I just wanted to bring up a point to like everybody here. Like, what is it with us and our players? Like Leao has missed
Hmm.
big matches due to suspension. Tamori, Benacer, Donali when he was here, Dale. Like what is it? Like who? Like it does it fall on the player or does it fall on the manager? And this is not to like shit on Pioli. Like to be like okay, like where's the discipline? Like I'm a Raiders
Yeah.
fan and I can tell you that each coach that we don't have no discipline. Like we're off the field and flag on the play. Like stupid plays. Like we're not even supposed to hit the kicker. And I feel like the same thing is happening with Milan. Like we're getting too many dumb yellow cards,
Hmm.
and like especially if complaining. Like complaining. I understand if you give a slide tackle and you hit a guy and you almost decapitate him, and that's fine. But like just for complaining, I mean, I don't know who it comes down to it, or is it like a whole collective of like we're not getting on these players for like basically doing bonehead plays and missing big games.
I
Like
agree.
every time that we have a first half of the 18 games that we have or 19, like we're always missing a star player. Just look it
Hmm.
up, and I just think it's disappointing.
No, I completely agree. But the discipline, it's I don't know. There's always a lot of stupid ones, which are for dissenting or committing fouls that are needless. Obviously, we can always justify, breaking up a counterattack and getting a yellow for that, right? Like Cha does that sometimes. Completely makes sense. Like you can say, yep, um, yeah, Milton, yeah, disciplines on Pioli. And I think Pioli also he gets a fair amount of yellow cards too, because he's yelling at the sidelines at the ref, and then he ends up getting a yellow card. So no, it stems from Pioli. It really does, because ultimately discipline is with the coach, right? You're absolutely right. Teo 8 games in and he's already suspended. It's ridiculous. Like, dude, like if you're the vice captain and for the most part the captain, because Calabria's, not usually on the field, um, dude, act like it. Be the captain. Lead by example. Like, yeah, there's obviously, you can go to the ref and talk to them, but stop doing stupid fouls. Like, I think in the when he got his yellow card, I think like earlier in that build up, he had trucked one guy, and then the ball got passed around just like a few passes, and then he's sprinting, and then he just slam in the back of another guy. Like, I the discipline's all with Pioli. You're absolutely right, Gio. I 100% agree. The discipline is just completely almost lacking in some ways because it's just stupid stuff. It's
Eh,
it's not really justifiable stuff.
I kind of disagree with
Um,
that. I think like it's laziness, and yeah, I mean, I guess you could put some of that on Pioli, but I mean, if you're being lazy and you're going into your job lazy, then come on, like think about your life. Pretty much, you don't need somebody to tell you, hey, you know, come on, hustle. Like, come on, these are grown men. They should
oh, they should,
they should
but
come to work ready. You know.
but still, Pioli's in charge of them.
Yeah, but he's not
So
their like father. I mean, I don't know. What do you think,
they
Gio?
see him as a father figure. Uh,
No, it shouldn't be.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
It shouldn't
I
be.
think
That's the problem number one. Then, if you think him as a father, that's problem number one.
Padre Pioli, man, Padre Pioli.
And he
Uh,
doesn't have the balls to like sit somebody down. That's the problem, Anthony. Like Dale gets 4 yellow cards. He should be like, you know what? I don't care if I lose points. I'm going with Batasagi because you have to learn now. You have to like if I'm messing up at my job and they just fire me, that's on my manager, you know. But if I'm messing up and they're giving me chances and they're telling me this is what I have to do and stuff like that, maybe they tell me, you know what, take a week off, come back, you know, without pay and come back and do something, but like too many yellow cards for everybody. We miss too many big games. I'm tired of
Hmm.
missing too many big games with our stars out, especially with
Yeah,
Juve. You know,
yeah. I
we have
don't.
a
Yeah,
chance to shellac them, and now we're missing two players, which is
yeah.
kind of
I don't
sad.
blame Magnan for getting the red there. Obviously, he never intended to get a red. I can understand the red card from the rules view, um, but he had to come out and make that play. Like Shaw and Tamori were definitely outpaced. The guy was going to be through on goal. If he didn't do anything, we could have risked it. We could have drawn. But thankfully, he's only banned for one match. They were talking about a three match. It's only going to be the one, which is fine. He'll be back, obviously, in the Champions League against PSG, and then back in the league against Napoli. So, actually, make sure. Do we have three straight away matches? No.
You guys hear
Uh,
me real quick?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it sound
There
good.
you go. Yeah, so obviously we were at McAllen's, Anthony, Gio, me, and a few others. We were going absolutely crazy. So I saw some of the video from the Fox and Hounds meetup. What was your experience at the game, Ali?
It was a roller coaster, dude. I think that once Pulisic scored, we celebrated for 10 seconds, and I think it was Lore who first said, "I dude, I think it's a handball." So then they go to the VAR, and
Hmm.
basically everybody just like, "Fuck." And me in my typical fashion, I have my head basically on Alora's shoulder, and I'm just like, Imano, man, Imano, it says handball, it's handball, it's handball. And everyone's like, will you
Yeah,
shut the fuck up? So that was crazy in itself because they gave the goal and we started going crazy.
yeah.
But then the low because they started attacking a bit, man. Genoa, they started
Hmm.
pumping everybody
They were
forward.
going for it.
And we looked shaky, I'll be honest, man. It was because and it was super emotional match too because I think we were nervous because we had something to lose because we could go first, you know.
Hmm.
But then that ball that Magnan had to come out. He had to go for the header. But the problem is that he's jumping up as a keeper. Defenders don't jump up like that. Keepers, I think maybe it's muscle memory. They jump up because they're protecting themselves, like in a
Hmm.
corner.
Oh
Like
yeah,
if that was a corner and he's jumping up to get the ball with his hands, that's never a foul. You know what I mean? But since it was outside the box, last man, I get it. But we see that we're like, oh, fuck. And then we're like worried about the penalty. It's not a penalty. And then the red card, we're like, oh. And then Giroud comes on, Jesus Christ. And then so he saves that, and we all just like, oh my god, oh, and and I think somebody orders a pitcher of beer right away, like let's fucking go. I mean, it was just insane scenes. Honestly,
love it.
it was one of the most insane. It's I feel like it's one of those moments that I don't
Hmm.
want to say define a season, but it's one of those key moments of season that if we end up doing something at the end of the season, we look back at this match and we say, "Hey, man, that's one of those moments that saved us."
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to order the jersey. I waited a little too long. Andrea, he ordered it right after the game. We're all sitting outside, and so I go the next morning, sold out. And god damn it, wouldn't you know? Yesterday they restock it, and I'd even notice. But
Oh,
I think
nice.
that's gonna be a moment that, like I said, it's if God forbid we do win something this season, it's one of those key matches where you look back and like that's one of the moments, like for example the Scudetto winning season, the Tonali goal against Lazio or something like that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
compare Giroud's save to like one of those moments.
Yeah, it just sucks that it's right before an international break. So,
It's killing our
I hope
goddamn
I
momentum.
know it totally it's total momentum killer. But yeah, we were losing our minds. So on the handball, um, I saw something floating around Twitter that basically said the rules in Serie A say if the ball strikes you here on your bicep area, like pretty much from where your shirt sleeve is up, that is not considered a handball. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard and saw. So, um,
To be honest,
whatever.
I don't give
Yeah,
a shit.
I don't give
It's
a
a
shit. We
goal, man.
won. We
Three
won.
points is three
It was
points.
just scary
And
that it took like 4 minutes for them to like figure out and VAR like, is it? Is it not? Um,
it was a
but
tough one to call, but if it's
yeah,
not clear,
they can't overturn it.
and
Yeah,
I know, and that wasn't no offense. One angle, I'm like, oh my god, that's a handball. But you look at the other angle, and
you
it's
can
like,
tell.
wait, is that? So if it's not a clear and obvious error that that the referee didn't see the handball, you can't overturn it and not call it
That's
a
what I was saying
goal.
in my accounts.
And
I said
fuck
if
all
they're
the other
taking this,
fans.
yeah, if they're taking this long, that's not going to be called.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of haters because like there's so many
There were.
people. There's so many people you ask from like Napoli fans. I've been watching like other podcasts, like Inter fans, and they're just like, it was so obvious that it was a handball. And
Yeah.
you know, and even the commentators, the Paramount,
The English ones, yeah.
yeah, they were like clear, obvious handball. This is a lot of controversy and stuff, and I'm trying to look at it for what it is, and you definitely, like Ali said, you could not tell that
Can't tell.
it was clear. I mean, you would
And-
need to zoom in with the telescope and have a perfect quality image to see it, and they didn't have that. So
Yeah. I also, yeah, like I said, I saw that picture floating around of the rule book, quote unquote, saying that yeah, if it strikes you here, and his arm at the time when it hit his thing, his arm was here. It wasn't his arm was like this or forward or backwards. His arm
Right,
was
right,
still in
right.
line with his body. So I'm
It
assuming
almost
that
went up in his arm. It almost
it,
went up
it
in like
looked like
his
it hit his
armpit.
chest and his arm at the same time, which I don't know. I heard also too in the rule book, if it strikes you at the same time, like it's not a handball. If it hits your chest and your arm at the same time.
he's got those Captain America
Um,
pecs, so you know
yeah.
they're big, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, look, it's a goal. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Ale. Dude, the next like 15 whatever minutes with the added time, it was Genoa just pedal to the metal, just going for it, and it was scary. I mean, even so, obviously when Magnan got sent off, they had a free kick right outside the box. But the way they kicked it, I think it came off to Mori and it ricocheted off the top of the bar. Giroud really didn't have anything to do. Like he couldn't have done anything. Like there was no way that thing was coming in like 1,000 miles an hour.
Heart sank.
But yeah, I mean, just crazy. I mean, we probably should have been 2 up, considering we shouldn't have. The play shouldn't have stopped.
Yeah,
In
that's
that
another
play
thing.
when I think they had like a corner or free kick or something. The keeper came up, he tackled someone or something, and then but we were through on goal, and then the referee blew the whistle. It's like it was like, what are you doing?
The thing is that I think if it's now, don't quote me on this. This is just from when I play FIFA, but I think if it's a second yellow, you go back, you don't play advantage, you give the red. But if it's off of violent conduct, you can always go back and give the red because it's
Yeah.
violent conduct. So, in theory, you let the play go on. I mean, Rafael, he had his back to goal with only one defender, but I don't know who was coming up from the middle. It
He
might have
would,
been
dude,
Pulisic
I
or
was just
somebody.
about to pass to him
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
funniest thing,
you know when the rule changed though. You know when the rule changed though. It changed when someone like I think died. I think there was actual death on
but
the
there was no head
pitch.
injury though with that.
No, he was
that
holding his
build-up.
head. He was holding his head.
I don't remember that. I mean, if it was a head injury, then yes, you have to stop the
Yeah,
game. But
that
I
was the
remember it
thing.
being
That's
a
yeah.
head
Marco
injury.
on Paramount said the same thing. It's yeah. It's
I mean, I don't know if anything, because that's where the play started from. So the ref had a good visual. He should have noticed that Musa got tackled, studs up on the foot. Yeah, he's hurting, but to 1-0. I mean, literally, if Genoa, Girata, if Giroud didn't make that save, that's a call that would have cost the game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. The funniest thing though was when their keeper got sent off, it looked like one of their outfield players was starting to put on gloves and the goalkeeper thing, and then all of a sudden, like 10 seconds later, I guess they had a sub left and their second goalkeeper started running out. So I thought it was gonna be 2 outfield players in goal for both teams. It was madness. It was just crazy.
I will
Crazy.
say
It's
what
been
the
one of the
crazy.
craziest Milan games in a long time.
Yeah.
In a
I'll
long
say the
time.
craziest thing that come out of this game is, albeit I did have a few Lagunitas in my system by the time the goal was scored, but I believe I don't know who I said I think I yelled at everybody. I forgive Pulisic of all his sins and I accept him as a Milan player, because because
Wow.
finally.
I mean Lazio and now Genoa. I mean the first 2 goals could have been luck, but he's coming
Yeah.
in clutch, man. So. Uh, I mean,
Nice.
he's not a fan favorite for me. Obviously, I'm not a huge, but I accept him. If he continues like this, I will respect. I mean, I will love him. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
respect him definitely after this. I think he's
Yeah.
proven his worth. still needs to man up just a little bit, but and a little bit of
Yeah.
consistency because he still kind of disappears in games. But the
Yeah,
thing is, he
he's
shows up with
mhm. Yeah, he still drifts into like that center role, and then nobody's really out on the wing, um, which kind of disrupts some of the flow a little bit. Um, but no, yeah, you're right. He's come up clutch in these games. Obviously, he scored the first two games um, of the season. You know, yeah. In terms of the goalkeeper jersey, I think I may have to get the third kit jersey, but with Giroud on the back for the goalkeeper jersey. That
I'm
might
waiting.
be it.
I'm
That
waiting
might be
for the
a
green one to get restocked, man. It
yeah.
has to
That,
be the green
that
one.
might be a yeah. Um, I don't know. Gio, Anthony, any other thoughts on the Genoa game?
We have a big problem, guys.
Uh-oh.
The number two has forgotten how to defend. That save that Giroud had to make is because the offensive player blew past Calabria. What
Yeah.
has happened to a guy? Come on, man. He's Italian. His main instinct is supposed to be defending. That was the only thing that he was like that separated from Theo, that he was a defender, and now he can't even do that. You come in at the last
Hmm.
time, and as soon as he comes in, we start looking shaky. We got a 32-year-old Florenzi coming out. When he comes in, the defense looks solid. I think we have a big problem. I
Yes.
know they're saying that they're gonna buy a right back, but I think
No.
it's time for us to not spend on a right back. We got two dogs in the
And
Primavera.
Kalulu coming back.
Well,
Kalulu's gonna
Kalulu,
be
now
clutch.
he got exposed at the U20 World Cup as a right back. He's not a right back. He's a center back that can cover a lot of space. But to me, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Calabria. The team is going up, back and upwards, and he's like not being able to catch up. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah. I
What are you
think
guys'
Florenzi
thoughts on
has to
that?
start against PSG when we get there.
Yeah,
I would put.
Florenzi's been
I mean,
amazing.
Kalulu just because of his athleticism. Uh, I would put him at
Possibly.
right back honestly because yeah, Calabria and
Mbappe.
Florenzi a little bit older. They're not that quick. Yeah, maybe he's not on the right at the right back better than Calabria. I think he is actually, but against Mbappe, man, I think Kalulu is the person to stick to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's
no way
possible.
Calabria's taking
No, there's no
Mbappe.
way.
No
I
way.
yeah, I only threw out Florenzi because obviously he knows the PSG team. He probably knows Mbappe, but yeah, I mean, Florenzi's 32. He's not the fastest, but
But I've said it once, I'll say it again. Florenzi has, dude, he's put in his performances. He's not not our best player, but when he's been called upon, he's been pretty solid, man.
absolutely, absolutely, he's done a fantastic job. I
Yeah,
think
he's
he really
taking
should start.
Calabria's spot.
I think for now he should take Calabria's spot. I don't see unless Calabria plays a couple great games. I don't see
Yeah, there's no
why.
way Calabria is just going to be faster. He just can't. I don't know. He just is so slow, and then
But
he's
but
just
you
or
don't have to
positioning.
do
I don't
that.
know. What's that?
It's like Carvajal when they played
Hmm,
Liverpool. Bro, Sadio Mane is fast as hell, but like he just knows how to defend. His positioning and being aware. Calabria
mhm.
has lost it all. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't even know
Yeah,
what the hell he's doing. Like Florenti has come in. The only thing that I have my gripe on Pioli is Florenzi has two great games. Oh, Calabria's back from injury. No, no, no. It shouldn't work like that. If Florenzi has a back game, then you switch him. You don't just
mhm.
switch him just because he's the captain and he's back from injury. This is Milan. You gotta earn the badge. You gotta earn the pride to wear these colors. I don't know. That's like the thing that I didn't like. Florenzi had two great games. He helped us. We looked more solid, and then Calabria is back from injury. Go like. Then he's basically saying, "Oh, I don't really have to work for it. I'm the captain. I'm always gonna get chosen." And that's not how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just add one more thing to the Genoa game, I
Mm-hmm.
know that emotions ran at the end, and oh my God, sick game, whatever. But that game was horrible up until the goal, man. That's a game we should have won easily, dude. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened? Our midfield, like, this is the first time I see Rangers kind of lost. Adli, not really into it. Our midfield, I don't know. Maybe it's because we were missing Ruben and that presence in the midfield, but our midfield was kind of non-existent. I mean, the first 4 minutes, as Pelly would say, we did well, always kept possession. and Okafor had that chance. But other than that, it was, I mean, that's how crazy those 10 minutes were. It made a shit game like that, like for 86 minutes, a game of the
Yeah,
season basically. Let's not
yeah,
forget how bad it was before that, and we were not playing well, and we were going towards the draw, if it
yeah.
not were that moment of
No, I agree.
crazy.
Genoa were really kind of parking the bus ish. They were playing a really low defensive line. I think, yeah, their formation was 4-5-1. So, I mean, they were just stacking in front of their box.
Yeah.
Jovic had, I don't even know if they could even pass the ball to him, and he's not the type of striker to really run through lines or anything like that either. Obviously, we saw
He's not a
Okafor in the,
striker in general. This guy needs to go, man.
He
but
did a
you know,
little
I
better.
felt
He did
a
a
lot.
little better.
You know,
Jovic.
obviously with
But
the team that we put out, we we know we
yeah.
always suffer against a low block anyway. When teams just put on the defense,
Yeah.
um, we couldn't really just create and get through that congested of a midfield and defense.
Yeah.
The way
We've
Genoa
always had
had
trouble
set
with
up.
that.
Yeah, so um, I even if we had the best of our players on there, I don't know if there would have been such a huge difference, but
We
um,
really missed I think that focal point up top, that target man in Giroud, because
yeah.
Okafor at the striker against a team like that who's barricading in, you need a focal point for the ball to get to where he can play with his back to goal and distribute.
Hmm.
And you saw when he came in, I mean, it. I'm
Yeah,
not saying we, we changed the game, but we played that. We definitely played better, and you know,
yeah. I felt the same when halftime came on, Leao and Pulisic came on. I thought we looked a little bit better. I don't know if it was just the fresh legs or whatever it was, but definitely looked a little bit better in the attack.
But
Um,
even then, it was didn't do much. I mean,
yeah, they didn't do much
Leao
until the
had
end.
pretty much a header that he could have scored, but other than that,
Yep.
didn't do much. And yeah, I think Ali's right. The midfield and what I mentioned with, I mean, I love how Adley's been playing, but I think he got tired or something. The second half, he was just couldn't make a pass, wasn't effective. Reinders, yeah, I mean, he had a couple like rainbow chips to beat defenders and showed a
Hmm.
little bit of skill, but wasn't the dominant figure like Ruben is. So we need Ruben back for sure.
Yep.
oh yeah, man. And
Um,
Laura mentioned it in the chats though, but yeah, special shout out. Fuck the Genoa president, man.
yeah, with the
Fucking
shit he
shit
was saying
on
after the game,
Maignan and saying that they deserve to get something out of the game and the how
ridiculous. He was basically playing the poor us Genoa. Look at us, and it's like, come on, bro. Get out of here. It's ridiculous.
I
He's
like
gonna be happy in
Maignan's
the summer
You know,
when
it's
he
funny.
sells that Gumnison. When he's, hey man, that Gumnison player, he's a baller, man. He was like
dude.
bulldozing everybody.
Yeah,
Ah,
I know. And then he was saying we're just a small provincial side. I'm like, yeah, Milan's a provincial side from Milan. Um,
And Gila
um,
Dino, I love Gila, but he was getting on my nerves in that game.
yeah, he was
I
getting
said it at the
fired up.
bar too. I said at the bar too. How does this
Yeah.
guy always look like he just got back from Sardinia? He's always like dark and tan, dude. It's crazy.
He enjoyed his post career up until starting to coach. You know, hey. Um, all right, we got to move on. Champions League versus Dortmund, which happened the the Wednesday prior. Um, 0-0. We made them look like they were amazing. Um, I wasn't happy with the result. Um, uh, it was very frustrating. Pobega, disastrous, absolutely disastrous. Calabria again, not good. Um, they looked really good in attack because we played not that well. And then again, we can't score in the Champions League when it matters. It's we're I think we're really screwed. Um, if we're not able to win at least three of the next four games, I think we're out. You know, depending obviously on the other results, but I mean, we can't take anything for granted. We kind of buried ourselves in a little hole. We're gonna have to figure out to do something away against PSG in the next week or so. Um, and then yeah, uh, what did you guys think of that game?
I mean, that game, like, it was, man, Chukwueze, man. How can you miss a wide open goal like that, to be
Yeah.
honest with you? And then, to me, that game, I love Giroud on the weekend, but that game, he wasn't paying attention, bro.
Yeah. No.
It's like the first one, how do you skyrocket it? And then the second one, that layout crosses back to you. You're not even paying attention. You're like drunk or you're looking at women in the stands. I don't know what the hell you were doing, but you just fall over. Like, come on, bro. And then Pulisic had one too, and it just straight at the keeper. I mean, we just weren't
Hmm.
clinical. I know they had a lot of chances to attack, but our chances were better than theirs. Like, to be honest with you,
We did.
Daniel Mallon, he was shooting from outside the box. So if one of those goes in and they beat you, it's okay. You put your hands up. But we were in the middle of the box. We were 6 feet in the box, and we couldn't even
Yeah.
get one through.
As the game
And
progressed, I got more
yeah,
worried because it looked like they were building more and more momentum, and we just
yeah.
could not defend for whatever reason.
The last two games, and then usually it always happens in Calcio. Like you're peppering your team, or you have great chances, and then you don't score, and they always score you the last minute of the game. So I'm just glad that they didn't do that, because I would have been like, I broke a couple
Oh,
monitors at work and stuff like that. It would have
yeah,
went to shit. But I mean, to me, I mean, we need 4 points out of this next two games versus PSG if we're gonna qualify. To be honest with you.
I agree.
Because Newcastle, we gave those assholes in Newcastle life, to
And
be
now they're
honest.
on
And
fire.
you
Dude,
know what?
dude, exactly,
They're
exactly. God damn
totally
it.
on fire.
I love you, Tonali, but come on, bro. Like, we gave you life. You guys were dead. You guys were doing shit in the league. Now you're just bulldozing by anybody and stuff like
Throw
that.
it for us. Throw it for us,
And
Tonali.
and then
The
like these Premier League guys, they going crazy now. They saying that we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
finish bottom of the group and we don't like, yeah. But it's just I don't know.
ridiculous.
I could take the draw in Dortmund, honestly. I can accept that. And I said it after the Newcastle game. This game is going to come back to bite us in the ass because those are
Hmm.
3 points you need in this group, and especially playing like that. 3 points against Newcastle, that would have been fundamental considering Newcastle beat PSG. We would have been at four now, tied top of the group with no, sorry, we would have been top of the group now.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I mean, and we could have afforded to get maybe 2 points or 1 point out of PSG
PSG.
matches as long as we do something against Dortmund and Newcastle. So as far as the Dortmund match, I mean there were chances on both sides. I think at the end we so close we could have won it, but we didn't. But you take a point out of Dortmund. What you can't accept is playing like you did against Newcastle with all those chances and coming back with a point from there. Because now we're forced to do something, and PSG is also forced to do something because they lost. You know what I mean? And they don't want to come in at second place, and they just got whooped by Newcastle. So it's still a very delicate group. I would have hoped that. Um, maybe 4 points and PSG already dominating the group would have been better for us just to get out of it because we could have come in a second and kind of, PSG dominating the Dortmund Newcastle matches and we coming out of the PSG matches with maybe a point or two. That would have been much easier, but that Newcastle game really fucked us, man.
Yeah, I think we're barreling towards, even if things go well, being away at Newcastle and that game being the decider if we're in or out. I pray to God we don't get in that situation, but I think it's the most likely scenario that we're going to be in, and it's going to be a wreck on me mentally. I think a lot of
If
us.
if we can even get there, I'm worried we're
Yeah,
already out by then. I'm worried that we're
yeah.
already out by then.
We just need to be more clinical. Obviously, we haven't conceded, which is good, but we have to score. Like, I don't know, like, what else to communicate to the team other than just put the ball in the net.
Yeah, I think we get tired. I think we get emotionally tired or something. I said this like the beginning of this season and going into this. I just think that we don't have enough for Champions League as well. I think we definitely need a striker. I don't think obviously Giroud gets tired, and I think that
Mhm.
was partly why he had that chance with Dortmund and he couldn't put it away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, other teams obviously
but
have to go do it too, but yeah, go ahead.
the Champions League is where your superstars step up, and Leao is as our biggest superstar has to step up in the Champions League.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
so other people can take his spot in Serie A and help us out like against Genoa with Pulisic or against. I mean, he did well with Leao, but I don't know, like a random I don't know Loftus Cheek goal against Cagliari. You know what I mean? But in these big games on the biggest stage, Leao has to step it up. He's got to be the one to bring it in. So and bring home the points for us because that's if you he's a great player now, but if he wants to be considered a superstar, this is where he does it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and I
that's what I
agree that.
mean. Yeah, that's what I mean by emotionally like stressed out, emotionally tired, emotionally like just mentally not focused. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. We're building leaders in Teo and Leao. If other players come up as leaders, they need to show it, and they need to act like it, and put everything on the line, and show us what they can do. Um, just to quickly touch on what Lorenzo said, Pioli, he gave away 55 minutes, forcing Rangers out of position to keep out Adley, and we started playing good when Adley went on, and I completely agree. When Adley went on, that game changed like that to me. It looked so much better. Um, so, um, yeah, uh, just more more points missed. I mean, really, we should have 6 points out of these 2 games. Um, and we should be sitting comfortably up top-ish, um, considering the remaining games we have. But here we are. Um, any other takes on that before we move on?
Oh
Moving
man,
on.
I'm
Uh,
disappointed in that sense. We need these. I think they're gonna. Well, I'm tired of a layout saying I promise this, I promise. Well, why don't you do it on the fucking pitch? This is not LeBron James school. I
I was gonna
promise.
say.
Okay, okay, okay. This is like Geo. He's been saying it the last 2 interviews, bro. Like I promise, I do this, bro. This is not LeBron James school and stuff like that. This is where, like, come on now, get it together,
yeah.
handle your business, and now you're putting more pressure on yourself, saying that we're gonna go win in Paris, bro. Like, what the heck is going on? But I'm just hoping for a performance, Spence, and everybody here. Like, I just need a performance.
Yeah.
I think Liao
Um,
will. I think Liao will. I think he's on that turning point of his life that he's going from all right. I'm a superstar kid that could do this, has amazing talent, so everybody just respects me just for that. And now he's going into the next phase of his life where that's not enough. Where you got to do more, and you have to show your leadership, and be an adult
yeah.
basically. You know.
You
I
fucking man.
I think if
You
we're
can act like
able
a man.
if we're able to beat PSG away, that would be huge to the momentum going forward in the Champions League. Considering that they'll only 2 weeks later be back at the San Siro, uh, but we'll see.
I will give you this. I will give you guys this. PSG does not look like an unbeatable team this season.
No,
League on from what look, I haven't seen much, but from what I've seen from the results, it's
they're
I
wishy-washy.
mean it's leaky, wishy-washy. That's what. Yeah, perfect.
Hmm.
And in Champions League we saw. I mean, I didn't see the Dortmund game, but I don't think it was as one-sided as they made it seem. And then obviously they got spanked by Newcastle. So
Yep,
if anything, the points are there for the taking. It's on us if we want to grab our balls and get on the field and do something. You know what I mean?
yep. Um, all right, so let's follow up on the other Serie A results. Um, well, right before the game, we kind of touched on it. Inter drew 2-2 to Bologna at home. Bologna just fighting for it. Um, and so yeah, so that was huge going into the game. Obviously, we kind of mentioned that put pressure on us to try and get a result away, so we can enter the break with a couple more points in Inter. Empoli tied Udinese 0-0. Empoli just being terrible. Uh, Lecce Sassuolo 1-1. I think Lecce scored first. No, Berardi scored from a penalty, but then right after the half, uh, resumed in the second half.
That's hilarious by Sassuolo,
Lecce
though.
scored.
Sassuolo
Yeah.
beats Inter and then can't beat Lecce. That reminds us of a season of us too, where we
Yeah.
do the same.
Right before our game was the derby in Turin. I watched the second half of that. So Juve scored the 2 goals in the second half to win that derby. Unfortunately, hoping they're gonna drop some points, but
I think it's like their 30th derby win in a row or something like that.
Yeah, it's something stupid. And I think it's the first time too the Juve ownership finally kind of allowed the ultras kind of back into the stadium in some way. They allowed chanting and drums and banners and stuff, but whatever. Juve's a shit show anyway. Moving on. Monza 3-0 Salernitana. Obviously Salernitana, their coach got sacked, and Pippo Inzaghi. Yes.
My man.
Yep, Pippo. He is now the coach of Salernitana, so all the luck to him. Please don't beat us. Please beat Inter, Juve, and the other big teams.
I'll say one thing about people. He can turn water into wine, and he can save Salernitana from going to Serie B this season. I promise you that.
There you go. Heard it here first. Lazio beat Atalanta 3-2, an exciting game. CDK own goal. I didn't see this game, so I just kind of saw the scoreline, and I was like, oh my god, CDK. Frosinone, we've been talking about them. 2-1 against Verona. Roma destroy Cagliari 4-1. Belotti had an amazing goal in that game. And then Fiorentina, Super Jack, beats Napoli 3-1 away. Yes.
But yeah,
but Jack's earned a call up to the national team.
No, I mean, Fiorentina is pushing ahead, man. They're 4th place.
They're doing good. They're doing really
They got a
good.
little squad. I love their coach, Italiano. Good young Italian coach.
Yeah. And now Napoli, Rudy Garcia's. I don't think he's been sacked yet, but he's definitely been put on notice by De Laurentiis.
They're throwing around Conte's name. They keep throwing. I mean, Conte is just what? He's just outside the door. Is he on the?
Just do this
on the bench.
Can you imagine him and De Laurentiis?
Oh my god, De Laurentiis and Conte would be like a soap opera, like just hilarious. Those guys would be butting heads all the time, and then crying. Oh, I don't get my players. Oh, he wants those players.
It's funny. You think De Laurentiis is going to spend money, that kind of salary, on a coach?
No.
Conte is like asking like something like 10 million.
That's ridiculous. Net, yeah, ridiculous. So that kind of wrapped up Serie A. Let's see. I don't know. International breaks coming up. You guys excited? Let's see. The Nazionale. Who do they have to play? England,
Malta,
and Malta.
Yeah.
Just win, please. I find
these national breaks suck, man, because we just had one, man. There's just too many national team games. And I bet you what, I hate to say it, but guess what? Not all of our boys are coming back healthy, man.
100%. I was just about to say Giroud, Theo, Magnan, they're coming back injured. Pretty much whoever else is going to be injured. I know Chad's off to the Germany team, but he really hasn't played, even on the past international break. It's just another get injured moment. And of course, and it comes at a shitty time when we're playing Juve at home, then we have PSG away, and then I think we play Udinese after that, away as well, or something crazy.
The Juve game's gonna suck, really.
We're
gonna
have
really down,
Milan Juventus at home, PSG away, Napoli away, then Udinese at home, then PSG at home, Lecce away, then we play Fiorentina at home, Dortmund. Oh wait, no. Is there another international break in November? There's a gap between Lecce on the 11th and Milan Fiorentina on the 25th. I swear, if there's a third international break, this is stupid. Completely stupid. Like, when we had the one in September, I was like, oh yeah, that's like the one that we have in the first and the half of the season, and that's it. But if there's a third one, that's insane. It looks like there is. That's terrible.
So Italy is playing on. Hold on. So they have these games to get up against Malta and
Saturday.
England. November 17th, Macedonia. November 20th, Ukraine. So yeah, there is another national team break.
Which is excellent because after that international break, we have another crazy ass schedule. We play Fiorentina at home, Dortmund at home, Frosinone at home, Atalanta away, then Newcastle. The schedule's insanity. And then figure if we're still in Champions League after the winter break, we're gonna start up the Coppa Italia games as well. So we're gonna be really in the three competitions. Um, it's madness, absolute
But at
madness. The
least
amount of fixtures.
at least Serie A wise, if we can get through Juve and Napoli, if we can still be up there with Inter, I'm not saying ahead on points, but even when we're talking about it, I think a couple weeks ago, if we're just still within it 2 or 3 points. Who has Inter played this season yet so far?
Your November schedule is tough, but did you like the show that they had on Saturday?
Mhm.
You didn't see the show that's going viral
You
that
mean
they
was with
had?
what they had on the sidelines?
No,
Oh,
they did like a show.
oh yes, they
Yeah,
had
it's
like
going
a was it
viral. It's
drag
going viral.
queens or
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, enter.
I'm
but
not touching that one. I'm not touching that one.
yeah, we're
No,
not
no, no,
we're not.
no, no. I don't know if you guys follow these guys on X. Like, what's their name? Paris Snitch and somebody. One is
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
a American. Well, they said the guy revealed himself. He's a Inter and a Milan fan because he wears Milan jerseys some games. He goes to some home games and then he goes to Inter games. It's crazy on
Yeah.
X. What you on
Listen, I'm
X?
open-minded on everything. Be whatever you want to be, but that I will not accept.
Yeah.
You're not a Milan and an Inter fan.
Right.
No, I have
Right.
to draw the line somewhere.
Mister, you can't root for both teams. It's impossible.
Mm.
It's impossible. Anyway, hey, look, all I have to say about Inter is they're falling. I hope they're falling because it looks like to me they're falling into that weird spot where they were kind of like the end of last season. There you go. Um,
Shame.
uh, where last season, they
Yeah. So
had
who do
games where
we?
they were winning,
Uh,
but then they just screw up games. And to be frank, Real Sociedad, they barely walked away with that one, with that draw or whatever it was. They only won against what's their names when Lautaro came on and scored the 4 goals, because otherwise they were hopeless. They did actually, the one game they did really well was against Porto in the Champions League. They should have scored like 100 goals and they only scored one. Inter were
You mean Braga?
dominating. Or
No,
no, it
was it
wasn't
Braga?
Braga.
No,
No, it was
it was
Porto.
Benfica.
Or Benfica.
Benfica.
Sorry,
Benfica.
Benfica. Yeah, against Benfica, Inter were just toying with them, and Inter should have scored 1,000 goals. Thuram scored the one, but they nearly almost had that one. They if they didn't score anything, they would have been totally kicking themselves because they should have won that game. It was like us against Newcastle. We should have won that game, but we didn't. Um, but yeah, Inter. I don't know. I think they might be screwing up. They might be slipping a little bit. So hopefully they do.
November is their toughest schedule.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So I'm hoping I hope like we get through this international break. Italy, hopefully they smack up on Malta, and they drink on Malta after the game, and then versus England. I just want to see those English guys crying. So
mhm.
hopefully they win. Um, and then let's go on to Juve, man. I think I can't wait for the Juve game. I know we got two
Yeah.
big guns waiting, but that's why you have. Well, we don't have a replacement for Theo, but that's why you bring in Sportiello, man, the Italian
Yep.
stallion himself.
And
Portillo is
that's. I
definitely in
mean,
goal. Yep.
Deo didn't do much last game, so I think I'm okay with whoever's coming in for him at this point because
It's probably gonna be Florenzi on the left, and
I
then
mean, yeah, we always want Theo. I
someone on the
mean,
right.
when he shows up, of course you want him, but last game he didn't show up, so
Yeah.
let's get somebody else in there and
Yeah,
just
Bartesagi's definitely
through it.
coming in at some point in that game. I think because even if Kululu comes back and he's available for Juve, he's not going to be match fit.
The good thing is
So
Juve doesn't hasn't looked great this season. I
No,
mean,
they haven't.
very
The first
very
game
mediocre.
the first game they scared everyone because they looked really good. They played really good, but after that they went straight back to Allegri ball. And they
Yeah.
just look awful. They
I
play
mean,
awfully.
to be honest, we look. I
For one
mean,
coach chaotic masterclass.
since Inter thrashing, we've really picked ourselves up, and we've really done. I mean, other than the Champions League, we missed our opportunities there, but we didn't lose. So I mean, it's
Or concede.
right. So we're looking pretty good at this point. I mean, Inter and Juve, yeah, Inter, Juve, and Napoli, all of them are really self-destructing. I mean, at this point, so we just have to recognize that and just take it on. I feel like we're our biggest challenge is ourselves this season. Is our biggest. That's the biggest shit we have to get through is ourselves.
Yep. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about before
Yeah,
we
let's
wrap
bring
up
up
here?
the upcoming events. We got
Hold on,
Yes.
Anthony. Before we go,
we're
we
back.
gotta give another shout out to the young puppies.
Oh, there
They're
you
in
go.
first place too. Primavera on first place. Alex Dale Jimenez. He could play right back. He could play left back. So you got a lot of talent. Shout out to the Italian stallion himself, Zeroli. He's just kicking everybody's ass. He's wanted by everybody in the world, Man City, BVB. So hopefully he could get a chance. But right now we're stacked at the midfield. So hopefully he could that. And shout out to Abate, man.
He's doing well.
Abate, he took a lot of criticism. They didn't want to give him the job, but I think that run to the UEFA Youth League semis really helped him out, and look where he's at. And even the BVB guy, who's seen a lot of talent in the last 10 years, like generational talent, has said
Gio,
that this
have they won
Milan,
every single game in all
yeah,
competitions?
minus Fiorentina with a fake
Oh, 1-1.
penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
with a fake
Yes,
penalty. Yeah.
Steve. I heard Stevie P mention Jimenez too, and he called out your name from Milan Weekly Podcast. He said Jimenez could probably. I think it was for Calabria or something. I think it.
Yeah, and he could play right and left, which is crazy, man. I mean, I don't know. But I'm glad. You know what? This shows like Abate is a really good manager, and hopefully he's gonna go straight to the top. Because
Mhm.
Jimenez has all the talent in the world, but he had a bad attitude. He basically
He
cussing out
told
the
off.
manager and the thing. You telling off
Florentino
Florentino
Perez.
Perez and everything
Don't
like
do
that.
that.
A shout out, a shout out to Abate. He's owning him. And it's crazy how they gave it to him to us with a loan with an option to buy. But I think you put that option and you pray that they don't have a buyback clause, because that would be
Yep.
just a waste of.
Hey, I was a
of,
troubled kid
of
too, so I'm not totally sold that I'm not closing the door completely. So nice.
Yep. So all right, let's wrap up today.
Let's-
Yes, the events.
Upcoming
Obviously,
events.
there is the UCLA event that's on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th.
You could dress up. You could put on your Halloween costume if you
Yep,
want.
wear Milan gear. Come out support. Definitely let us know in Discord, please, if you're interested in attending, so that way we can get an accurate count and try to get the tickets to buy all together in the same location. Please let us know if you're able to attend. Check out the posts. They're pinned, I believe, also in both the announcements and the general chat. They should be pinned. Please let us know if you're able to come. Again, that's Friday the 13th, 6 p.m. I believe tickets are $6 each person, but we need to know a head count so we can plan the tickets and everything accordingly. So let us know, please. It's gonna be a fun event. I think for Juve, I don't know if
It's a ways away, but we'll.
yeah, we're still deciding on what to do there with the watch party or watch parties. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, we'll be back here next Tuesday, even though it'll still be international break. We'll probably go more in depth onto the Juve game, but yeah. Anything else?
We're watching the game with Ali's favorite people,
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
the
Wait, what?
Juventines.
No. Listen, next Tuesday will be a slow day. I'll go more in depth on what's wrong with those wackos.
Nice.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Yes. Stay tuned. All right, everybody.
Get your popcorn ready. All right.
Yeah. We'll be here next. We'll be here next Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, guys. For some
Later,
Milan.
guys. Forza Milan.
Yes, now. Forza Milan.